Hello everybody, this is Spirelli and welcome back to Astrologaster, where...
When you are shook by something in a book where it says that you might have some rare malady, see Doctor Forman, be sure to inform him, you have it on very good authority.
Okay, he's back, he's read some more, talked to somebody else, or, you know, some way got something he feels he has
Good day,
now.
Mr. Mugg. What brings you?
I am exceeding ill, Dr. Forman. Verily I am. And you know my wife. She is refusing to hear anything about it. 'Tis but another of your delusions, Nicholas, she says. She will not even look at it.
Look at what? Oh, I see. You may pull up your breeches now. Pray let me examine you more closely. Raise your chin, if you please. Now, loosen your garter and remove your stocking. I am afeard this verily is grave. Most grave indeed.
'Tis? Verily?
I believe so. But we must have it confirmed by the stars. Let us consult them now. What explains these swellings that have arisen on various parts of Nicholas Mugg's body?
Okay, he actually is sick this time? I have pustular swellings on my body, what ails me? Scrofula, a disease characterized by swellings and nodules around the lymph nodes and behind the knees, or the plague, a disease characterized by swelling balls behind the ears, under the armpit and groin. Sounds more like this, right? Because the plague would also have other symptoms.
You have scrofula, a disease commonly known as the King's Evil. It is very grave, but worry not, for I have a cure close at hand.
Ah, the King's Evil. 'Tis the ailment that may be cured by the placing of royal hands upon the neck. Oh, you do not mean to say that Her Majesty the Queen herself is at this very moment...
What? No, of course not. I was referring to my famous strong water.
Which also would have
A
helped
moment,
against the
if you
plague.
please, while I retrieve it from my cabinet. But, sir, unhand it, sir. The dosage is very precise. You must not... nay, not the whole bottle. Ye gods, man, what have you done?
Methinks I am dying.
Oh, woe. A fatal dose. Alas, I am sorry for it, sir, but you were never meant to drink so much of it. Oh, may God forgive me.
Nay, do not blame yourself, Doctor. Thank ye heartily, for at last all shall know, my wife, my friends, how wrong they were.
Is he actually
and
dying?
I did speak true.
William!
What about
William!
my letter of
Curse, where is
recommendation?
that feckless manservant of mine? William! Go forth and fetch the vicar!
I'm not to be rude here, but we almost had my letter of recommendation ready, so that would have been nice. But I think in this decision there's nothing they could have done because one way or the other. So I guess, like, previously I should have told him that, you know, it's like, yeah, you're not really sick, but I went along with it and he died. The groin did present with swelling on various parts of his body. I did diagnose scrofula, for the swelling did appear on his neck and behind his knees. As treatment, I prescribed a dose of my strong water, but the current did prescribe himself many more doses and died thereof. Well, he says nothing. Oh, I already had his letter of recommendation. Oh, then it's fine.
Mr. Forman, you have been called before this assembly of the College of Physicians
Well,
to
who is
answer
he?
the charge of practicing medicine without a medical license. What have you to say in your defense? Would you deny practicing medicine, sir?
Why, no, I would not deny it. My practice is well known. Indeed, since I helped cure the plague of '92 with my strong water...
Then you admit you have committed this most grievous offense.
Ah, well, 'tis true I'm not technically licensed, but I fail to see how...
You fail to see? Then permit me to enlighten you, sir. A medical license assures the residents of London that a physician has the necessary education and skill to treat them. By practicing without qualification, you have not only broken the law, you have endangered the lives of your patients. Indeed, we have received reports that a man by the name of Nicholas Mugg, a wig maker of Silver Street, has lately died under your care.
Aye, well, that was most lamentable, but not my fault, sir. Mr. Mugg took a far greater dose of my strong water than I advised him to. He chose the dosage himself. In truth, one might say that the cause of death in this instance was, well, Nicholas Mugg, practicing without a medical license.
Silence, Mr. Forman! Your impudent japery may well be suffered by your patients, but it will not be tolerated here!
I do apologize, Mr. Smith.
Besides the death of this patient, we have gathered ample evidence of your malpractice, Mr. Forman.
Yeah.
Indeed, we have had this illegal operation of yours under observation for quite some time.
And in quite some disguise.
'Twas you, Riccardo Ferraro, the merchant from Venice. All along he was you, Richard Smith, the Queen's royal physician. Then I take it, Mr. Smith, you were unsatisfied with the medical care I gave you?
Sir, we are well aware of your occult practices. What you so boldly call medical care was naught but advice conjured up by means of dark magic.
But was I
You
wrong?
have no understanding of physic or astrology.
But my knowledge of both physic and astrology is unparalleled.
If that is so, then doubtless you will happily submit to having your knowledge examined before this assembly.
Happily. Not so happily. I didn't read that in that much detail. Which planet or star represents authority? Mars, Mercury, the Moon, the Sun? Mercury? No. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's not astrology. Flame in the ears. Oh, I should have read those details. I didn't. Cold and dry. No. With zodiac rules of the privy parts. Oh god, I don't know. Scorpio?
Silence! Simon Forman, you have failed.
Ah.
Constable, shackle this man and take him from
Oh
hence to
god.
jail.
But
They actually tested
this
me.
is most unjust. Pray afford me the chance to unhand me, you rogue.
They actually tested me. So I'm happy to inform you that I've secured your release from jail by way of my friendship with Mistress Maud Smith, wife of the president of the College of Physicians. You have contrived to have her husband believe that you enjoyed the favour of John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and that the Archbishop plans to grant you a medical license. But whilst you will be freed this day, a ruse will not hold for long. For Maud says the college intends to write to the Archbishop to warn him that you're a charlatan, to urge him not to grant your license. Your most assured friend and current, Alice Black.
Alice Black, she feels no shame, and forsooth is she to blame. If we were her, we'd do the same. Alice Black, she feels no shame.
Good day, Mistress Blagg.
And thank you.
Before we start, I must thank you for having used your influence to help me resolve my recent difficulties.
Say nothing of it. Those doctors and their College of Physicians. Naught but a band of pisspot sniffing bullies, so they are. Besides, I needed you out of prison so that you might read the stars for me.
I see. And what would you have me advise you on?
What know you of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London?
Not much, in truth. But I did attend the Easter service at St. Paul's. I found the bishop's sermon on the virtues of chastity and abstinence most compelling. Why, you know him well?
Not very well as yet. I was seated beside him at an Episcopal dinner Saturday last. We discoursed a while. Bishop Bancroft is a most charming man.
Is he now?
But there was a moment when we did both reach for the brandy decanter. Our eyes met and I felt something.
'Twas a spark between you and the bishop? You felt a certain frisson in the air?
Nay, I felt a certain hand up my skirts, more like.
His Grace put his hand up your skirts. Madam, may I say how...
Save your congratulations, Foreman. The bishop's not in the bag yet. Hence why I am come to you. Now that I have piqued his interest, I would have the stars tell me how to secure it.
Obviously.
Then you wish to pursue an amorous affair with Bishop Bancroft. But what of your husband, Dean Blagg?
Oh, do not speak to me of my husband. Thomas Blagg is not fit to secure his wife's future. He is not fit for many of his marital duties, truth be told. And had you read the stars correctly, you might have warned me of such.
Oops.
As it was, I had to learn the truth of our financial ruin by bribing my husband's chaplain with a pie.
A pie, no less. I am heartily sorry for your trouble, madam.
Aye, well, 'tis best not to dwell on it. Let us press on with this day's reading, if you please.
Of course.
Of course. Let us consult the stars. How may Mistress Blagg secure the lasting affections of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London?
Why, I am just helping all of them in the weirdest way. How may I win the love of the Bishop of London? Well, they should commit adultery with the Bishop while he's away from home, and should lie to the Bishop by telling him she is with his child. Oh no, don't do that. If Alice changes her approach and exercises constraint, good angel will aid her in the plans. Chance of romantic success will be enhanced if she adopts a quite demure manner. I don't see that happening. The responsible thing to do would be to tell Alice some hot truth and afford her some perspective. Reaction to this, however, might be quite unpredictable. Being careless with her husband's legacy, engaging in sin would go against Alice's Christian instinct. So this is like tricking with, like, sleep with him and then say you're with child. I was like, it's not what God wanted.
Madam, has it not occurred to you that by your present course you are endangering the Blagg family legacy? Surely you would not wish to make a cuckold of your husband and have him raise another man's child? The stars tell me that your instincts as a good Christian woman do urge you to abandon these adulterous plans of yours.
She will not like
Stars
that.
verily say all that, do they?
I am afeard so. Now, if I may digress a little, I did recently acquire a bottle of French brandy that I've been meaning to try, and I wondered if...
Nay, I will not tarry with you this even, Mr. Forman, for my instincts as a good Christian woman do urge me to tell you to prithee shove that bottle up your fundament.
My plan wasn't to tell her, like, be a good Christian woman and then be like, better anyway if you wanna share this bowl. God, it's just like trying it with everybody. The coronet wished to know how she might secure the lasting affections of Richard Bancroft, the Bishop of London. I did advise the coronet that she must not commit the sin of adultery lest she endanger Thomas Blake's legacy. Methinks the coronet took my advice rather ill. Yep. My virtue was that ever such a shrub-humping hypocrite as Simon Forman. Well, I didn't want him to hit on you afterwards.
Lancelot more, lovely his passion, lacking in mind, fulsome in fashion, the unwise truth, calls him chance, he yet persists in chasing the stars.
So last time I saw him, I told him, like, lie about your fortune, right? Like, make yourself out to be richer than you actually are.
Good day, sir, and well met. Oh, pray tell, did you secure the hand of the golden-haired maiden?
Yea, verily I did. Though 'tis no thanks to you, Forman.
Oh.
For when I told the maid's father of her uncle's designs upon her person, it set the household all a-rage. The mother even called me a fat-brained shade-lobber. It was only when I told them not to speak so ill to a man whose income is £1,000 a year that the family was silenced. The father then declared that a coin is still a coin, no matter it be in the purse of a beef-witted sock-nozzler, and promised me his daughter's hand in marriage. I was made
Nice.
the happiest of men.
Then I must congratulate you on your forthcoming nuptials. Will you be having a summer wedding, or...?
Congratulate me? Do not congratulate me, Forman, for I am the unhappiest of men.
What?
It was but a day after our engagement was announced that my love became afflicted with the smallpox. Naturally, I was all a terror. Would she perish? So wretched was I with fear, I almost died of fright.
Aye, naturally. Smallpox is a most terrible disease. I intend to write a small treatise on the subject.
But then, alas! Fate struck the cruelest of blows upon my soul.
Oh, verily. Poor girl. May she rest in peace. Or re-squeeze in pace, as we Latin scholars say.
What? Nay, death would have been a mercy. For once cured, the maid arose from her sickbed bearing hideous scars. Her once fair cheeks, thus so cratered, to make the very moon wane with envy.
I see. And now you wish to extract yourself from your engagement, I presume.
Naturally. But her brother and father are fearsome men with a taste for rough sport, and her mother's tongue is as sharp as a barber's blade. I worry that my breach of promise may be taken ill.
Then let me see if I may fathom the family's reaction from the stars. What will become of breaking your engagement to this once fair, now pox-scarred maid?
I had a feeling that was where he was going, where it's just like, no, death would have been an easy fate, but no. Instead, she is ugly. What would happen when I end my engagement? More is cause for hope regarding the young lady's forgiveness. The maiden will be at the dissolution of her engagement with quiet grace. The man tells us being careless with his legacy. Indeed, it was the most careless of him to betroth his daughter to such a mump-headed snatch-grabber. Or, God's punishment is on the way, with Neptune and Mars bring confusion and war. It would be intelligent to seek resolution in a foreign country. Moore's breach of promise may result in sudden change of fortune, his death. Yeah, they're gonna be angry.
The stars suggest you have much to fear from this family. Aye, you must flee England at once.
Yes.
For according to my precise calculations, based on the current alignment of the planets, let me see now. Yes, you will be branded a cock-born, snatch-grabbing knave of the lowest order, who deserves to be disemboweled with a pudding spoon.
Not my word,
That
the
is,
stars.
if I'm not mistaken.
Stars' words, not mine.
And not even God is on your side, for it is his plan that you may be dragged into a foggy-headed confusion so as to render you defenseless against the family's dark intentions. Oh, good sir, you must heed my warning and never show your face in London lest you be set upon most violently.
God's blood! I must flee England's shores and never show my face, you say? But whither shall I go? Hold, I have it. Be it not carnival season in Venice, when citizens do hide their faces behind masks? Oh, and with such style. I thank you, Forman, for you have been most helpful.
Oh, he liked that.
I must fly at once to my tailor to be measured for the latest Venetian fashions.
I didn't expect him to like that, but apparently. The Queen did wish to know what would happen when he breaks his engagement. It advised the Queen to leave England for a time to be safe from the wrath of the maiden's family. Methinks the Queen was pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Shall simply tell father I wish to finish my education with a tour of Roman antiquities? Oh, the pronunciation of English words that you haven't pronounced before is not easy. You kind of need to know how the stuff is pronounced because it's the multiple options in pronunciation. I'm not going to go into that. What gift?
Archbishop Whitgift, glory to the Lord in the highest position in the church, except for the Queen. Glory to the Lord, Archbishop Whitgift.
Does the Queen hold a position in the church? Could she interfere with what they're doing? I don't know how it works actually.
Ho! Ho there! Be there anyone at home?
Is it? By the saints, 'tis none other than Archbishop John Whitgift. Your Grace, I am most honoured by this most unexpected visit.
Truly, 'tis most unexpected, as I just so happened to be passing by. Indeed, I was riding by in my carriage when I found myself struck ill.
Oh.
My chaplain did suggest I take rest at the nearest residence, which did so happen to be this small dwelling. Forsooth, these rooms have the look of a physician's consulting
They
chambers.
do, don't they?
Mayhap you are a doctor? If that be true, then praise be to God for this happy coincidence.
A most fortunate coincidence indeed. I am Simon Forman, a doctor of astrology and physic. At your service, your grace.
Well then, Doctor Forman, was it?
Yes.
Perchance you will tell me what ails me. I feel a kind of pain and heaviness in my side, and I know not if this be related, but my skin has of late become most unattractive in appearance.
Pain in the right side of the body and sallowness of the skin?
Her Majesty did remark upon it most wittily the other day at a meeting of the Privy Council. Your face does serve as a warning to us all, Archbishop.
Her Majesty the Queen, verily. A moment, if I may, your grace, while I consult the stars. What does cause the suffering of his grace, the most reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury?
Shall find out in the stars. Pain in my side and my skin has become. Oh, that happens. My skin has become yellow in color. What ails me? The Archbishop is suffering from the jaundice, a condition characterized by colour seeping into the skin when the tube connecting the gallbladder to the liver is blocked. That might be correct. Or suffering from chaotic passion characterized by grievous pain in the heart, which is not. The moon suggests as a temporary. Sagittarius, rule of the liver. Didn't know I had to learn those things.
You are afflicted with jaundice, your grace. Yellow bile has seeped into your skin, causing it to become yellow-hued in appearance.
'Tis the jaundice, is it? I see.
Pray, have a servant boil this pouch of herbs in water. The liquor is to be injected up the fundament once each day. It should draw the collar away from your skin and into your bowels. William!
Excellent. I will have my chaplain see to it. My. Who do we have here?
Before you take your leave, your grace, I would have my manservant William let blood from your right arm.
Indeed. Very well, then.
Before you depart, your grace, perchance I might trouble you with a request of my own?
Good day, sir. My chaplain will settle payment with you anon.
I didn't expect him to see wonderful or excellent or whatever he said I was confirming after I told him to just shove herbs up his ass. But okay. The quern did present with symptoms of pain in his right side and yellow-coloured skin. I did advise the quern that he was suffering from jaundice. For treatment I prescribed bloodletting and an enema. Methinks the quern is most pleased with me for the reading I gave today. Oh, 35 in 1. William Buck, I think he said this man's servant's name was, so I wonder how much Foreman pays him. What is your plan with my manservant? Do tell. Right, pray tell.
What does it matter if errors he makes? Let others mend all the things their six breaks. Our Lord has much to gain with grace he takes. Commoners may pay, but nobles only learn from their mistakes.
Yep. You know, he probably doesn't have his life crushed by the errors he made, but I don't know about me, because I gave him advice and now he might be super angry about me, and I don't really want to turn this page because he'll probably not face consequences, but I will.
Good day, my lord, and well met. Indeed, methinks I have not seen your lordship since last year, afore you set off with Sir Walter Raleigh to capture those Spanish treasure ships.
Ah, yes. Doubtless you heard what became of that expedition. The town criers called it Raleigh and Essex's gold piracy fail, declaring it the biggest balls-up since the English Armada.
Aye, 'twas most ill-mannered of them, if I may remark.
The directions you gave me were entirely wrong.
Oopsie.
For we never came across the Spanish fleet. Indeed, we found ourselves becalmed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Raleigh blames me for it, and although I did explain to him that it was entirely your fault, as I had gotten the navigational coordinates from you, that seemed to bother him even more.
My lord, I am full sorry for any error I may have made in my calculations. Forsooth, I pray I may assist you better this day. What is it you would ask of the stars?
I would have you tell me how I might regain the favour of the Queen. Indeed, 'tis strange she has not yet gotten over her displeasure, for the incident did occur many months ago. And we had every intention of returning her warships, filled to the brim with gold, I might add. Besides, how in the devil's name were we supposed to know the King of Spain would choose that very same month to invade England? I have not the power to predict the future.
Well, nay, but I have, my lord, if you had asked me to.
Verily, 'tis not to be borne. Only last week, at a meeting of the Privy Council, during a minor disagreement regarding the Catholic rebellion in Ireland, she called me an impudent lord-splainer, whereupon she rose from her chair and mollywopped me in the face.
Would have liked to
drew my
see
sword
that.
upon her.
You mean the Queen?
Aye, indeed. Her behaviour was most shocking. I even asked the royal physician whether she may have lost her mind. She is, after all, most elderly. But Mr. Smith assures me she is in very fine health and is in full control of her faculties.
Her Majesty's behaviour is a mystery indeed, although mayhap it should not surprise us. A man's reason is oft insufficient to fathom the workings of the feminine mind, and, in such cases, he may have little choice but to call upon divine wisdom. To wit, let us see what the stars can tell us. What must Lord Devereux do to regain the Queen's favour?
I stole her warships. We were attacked. Now she's angry at me still. We cannot fathom a female's mind. But the stars will tell us something. Devereux may reverse his change in fortune by turning his working relationship with the Queen into a sexual. Okay, wow. Devereux's ambitions may be achieved if he's gentle, should pretend to be in love with the Queen. Or, Devereux should not act in haste. He should make an intelligent suggestion of mounting a military campaign in a foreign country. He should assume a position of authority in keeping with his birthright as a peer of the realm. And he must show the Queen he's a loyal man who does his duty. I'm gonna go with that instead of just like, she's angry. Yeah, you should just, have sex with her. That'll solve it.
To regain the Queen's favour, you must demonstrate your fealty to her, your loyalty as a peer of the realm who sits on her Privy Council. To this end, the stars suggest you offer to lead a military campaign to put down this Catholic rebellion in Ireland. Your lordship is, after all, a great military leader. What better man for such a task than the hero of Cadiz?
Verily, 'tis no ill idea. 'Tis no ill idea at all. Yes, indeed, I shall offer to put down the Irish for her. Forsooth, how difficult could such a mission be? I shall quickly defeat those fen-sucking muck-savages and be back home by Christmas. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
I'm glad I was of help. The Quern did wish to know what he could do to regain the Queen's favour. It advised the Quern to offer to lead a military campaign to put down the Irish rebellion. Methinks the Quern was a little pleased with me for the reading I gave this day. Well, I don't know whether they're gonna go there. 2 more. Yeah, we might. The Irish are idiot trunkios, most easy to vanquish. We English should not make jest about the Irish if this were not so. It is weird to have all these European countries attack each other and try to steal from each other, because nowadays that is... Brexit just happened. Why am I like, we are united, but we're not at war with each other anymore, so there's that. Yay. Anyway, where are we at? Yeah, so it is how I assume this one is over and I didn't receive one, so they can end, and then I could ever receive one or not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a total of 14. I need to fulfill 8 out of 14, right? I will meet 2 more if I read this correctly because there's some space here. So we're doing okay for ourselves, I hope. And I'll be back soon with more. And maybe eventually we'll become a doctor, like a true medically licensed doctor who's reading the stars. See you.